What's going on, guys? In this YouTube video, I am back in Miami, the city of dreams and the city of money. And I'm going to be linking up with some of our highest earning clients. One of our clients is Daryl. He's one of the biggest bankers in Miami, as well as meeting up with some old friends. My operations manager who manages 7 figures a month in TikTok shops, as well as just going around and networking. We're really focusing on the vibe in Miami. Like, you can come to any city and waste time and party and club and do what regular people do, broke people do, and have fun, right? Or you can come here and network. You can get around millionaires and be inspired on how you can make millions as well. So that's what we're doing here today. I'm going to be meeting up, networking, and meeting with people who are richer than me. That's the only way you get rich, is by meeting people who are richer than you. So I'm going to follow you. I'm going to have you guys follow along. I'm going to show you how to network, show you how to talk, as well as get some of the stories of some of the wealthiest people in Miami. Let's go. We are at the Four Seasons right now, and Miami's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, check out this really weird statue-looking thing right here. Not sure what exactly that is, but I guess it's kind of. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, it's very. I don't know. You gotta be a little weary of Miami. You come around the wrong things. Sometimes it's a little. So we're at the Four Seasons right now, and this place really reminds me of the difference between societies. On one hand, you go right down the street and there's nothing but poverty and homeless people. And then you come here and you've got people spending $1,000 on caviar, which is crazy. But it just reminds you that although a lot of the opportunities that we have are the same, our life experiences are very different. And so it's really how you take advantage of those opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities that are going to come around in 2025, and it's all about whether you're going to be the one to take advantage or whether someone else is, because if you don't, I guarantee you someone else will. So don't be the person that sits on the sidelines while everyone else gets rich. Take advantage of the opportunities that are available right in front of you right now. What are a few of those opportunities? I'll give them to you right now. SaaS, major industry. This is service as a software. This is basically when you're able to simplify something and give it to someone on a monthly basis, recurring revenue, without having to put too much effort or engineering or manpower behind that service. These are things like artificial intelligence. A lot of these AI sites that you guys are using are created by someone who is now collecting a monthly revenue because you're paying for the service and you need it. Like finding viral and trending product, viralninja.io, repurpose.io for repurposing content. These are all ways of simplifying processes by using artificial intelligence that you could utilize right now. The second thing is e-commerce. Being able to sell products online is the future. If you're not selling products online now, you're going to be very, very hurt in the next few years when everything goes online. You could be one of the first people to take advantage of an opportunity, but instead you're still watching. Open up a store and start generating revenue. Even if it's just a couple bucks a day, just see that it is real. I've been doing this for 6 years, and trust me, it is very real. And then number 3 is networking. Get around people who are like-minded. Get around people who are going to push you and give you new ideas and give you new ways of doing the things that you think about. A lot of y'all have great ideas, but how do you create real things from those ideas? You do it by taking action, and getting around people who are going to help you take that action is the first step, which is why I'm out here right now showing you guys how to network. We're going to be doing it here all day just to show you guys how important it is to get around the right people at the right time. In 2025, there's so much opportunity. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you guys how to become a millionaire of networking. All right, here we got AP, Anapala, otherwise known as, and she's an amazing member of my team, but also a member of the team, but also a client, someone who is near and dear to my heart. But she's just a wonderful person. She's someone who has come into the team here at Prestige and shown the kind of motivation, determination to change lives. And it's not just about the money for her. And one thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about more in my videos is about the fact that when you're chasing money, the money will run from you. But when you're chasing the value and chasing helping people, that is when you're going to see the most success. And that is something that she has embodied in every facet. And one of the reasons why she is such a valued member of this team, because she truly cares about her customers. She cares about this business and she wants to see it succeed. She wants to see herself succeed. which is the reason why she's also one of our clients who invested in a store, which is now generating revenue, and we're going to be scaling to 6-7 figures very soon. So AP, thank you so much for doing this interview. She's someone who is, I would suggest, is someone, if you saw her on the street, you would network with. And so I want to ask her childhood, how she came up, and how she was able to get here now, a successful woman living in Miami, considered the American dream is what she's living right now. How were you able to do it? And would you say that it was easy? Was it hard?
It was hard.
Yeah?
It was hard, but it was worth every step. Yeah. So I'm originally from Mexico City, and I moved to Miami 14 years ago. I used to work in hotels. I'm property manager, and that's how I got my visa to work here. And it was very nice, for a period of time. And then I got sick with COVID. And that's when I said, I got to stop working for a big corporation that is not allowing me to really live my American dream. And I knew there was something else that I could do for me, right? And so I did a little bit of insurance. That didn't quite work for me. It was just not my space. And that's when I found Jesse on Instagram, like a lot of you guys. And I came across himself. And Phil, actually, who's a very important member of the team, reached out to me to help him, taking care of the clients. So what I do with Jesse is I identify where the clients fall into our program, like if they're going to be clients or they're going to be business partners, and I explain to them what they are, where we can help them. So that's what I do for Prestige, and I'm very honored because I feel like I'm able to read the clients' hearts because I'm able to deliver Jesse's message. So obviously I'm representing Jesse during these calls, and it's an honor for me because we really can change clients' lives through the mentorships. So that's one thing I do at Prestige, and that has full my heart. Thank you, Jesse.
Of course.
My heart is full with that. And after that, I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I partnered up with Jesse to do an automation myself with through products that we do and special products of special brand. And so yeah, my journey has been. What can I say? I came from another country. I was an immigrant. I had to fight for my green card. I had to work a lot, but I can say every step of it was worth it. I would do it again, but really being able to be part of Prestige and have a TikTok business has been really the cherry on my American dream. And you're really being able to really live that American dream that we all know about that exists.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Like I said before, is finding someone who truly shows the compassion that we have for our clients is rare to find, because a lot of people are just looking for money. Whenever you go into a business or you're looking to work with someone or even just network, if all they can talk about is the money, then you're talking to the wrong person. You got to talk to people who truly care about the purpose of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. We just talked to Darren. He talked about all the money he had made, and he still wasn't happy because he didn't have a purpose. And that's one thing you've been able to embody fully. So you have a unique perspective because you're our client, but you also work with Prestige. So you've invested in Prestige, but you also work for Prestige on the side of recruiting in clients who are interested and who fit the bill and can come in and join and make money with us. What would you say that unique perspective allows you to see within the dynamics of being someone who sells as well as someone who is within the program?
Well, it's a rounded view, like I really get a global view, a 360 degree of everything. And so I'm able to deliver a message easier to a client that reaches out to Jesse, needing that help to change their lives. So it's been great to be able to have both. Obviously, as a businesswoman, just to own the business, it's amazing, but again, the money is not everything in life, so being able to jump on a call, with a nurse back in Texas or, a railroad worker in New York, and they really want to change their life. And we have a lot of brothers, we have a lot of father-son duos that it's, amazing to see how we can bring in a platform where they're able to work together, collaborate, and have financial freedom.
Yeah, 100%. That was greatly put. Thank you for that. And so if you had one message to all the people who are going to be watching this video about what they should do if they're struggling, if they are looking for a way out, what would you suggest? That it is the beginning of 2025. What can they do?
Don't think about it. There's no time is the biggest asset. And the more you think about it, I know sometimes when we say, like the mentorships, the investment, I know it sounds a big figure to a lot of people because it did for me, back then. But when you see everything you're able financially, but also learn the skill of e-commerce and the people you meet on in the community, it's just, it'll open your mind. So don't think about it too much because you're gonna learn something and you're gonna make money. I mean, that is for sure you're gonna do.
Amazing. Thank you so much, AP. We love her. She's one of our queens here at Prestige and also one of our valued clients. And our store is starting to make money. And so we're going to be celebrating the $1 million mark pretty soon.
2025.
100%. No way that's not happening. So thank you so much for the interview. And I'm sure that a lot of these people are going to be talking to you pretty soon anyway. So thank you so much. What's up, man? What's going on? This is my boy Duran. So he's been my boy since high school, and he's gonna offer a unique perspective. We're gonna talk to him because he's actually lives in Maryland, where we were both raised. Now, we actually, for both of us, our first business was together. We started a real estate investment company together, and this was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, which is insane. So he's someone that I've known for 10 plus years, and so I want to ask him some questions about what we're doing now in planning, what we were thinking back then, and what he sees in the future moving forward within this year and the next years to come, because he offers a very unique perspective with the real estate investments he's been able to make, as well as the corporate experience that he has. And so the first question I want to ask you is, obviously we've known each other for a very long time. What would you say, since way back in 2019 when we first started our business, is the main factor to our success, and what do you think is going to be the main driving factor for us to continue to be successful in 2025?
Definitely. I think honestly, it was taking our time. I think that was one of the biggest factors. We wanted to, 2019, we were, just about wrapping up schooling, in our junior years, around there. And we said, okay, we're going to invest in real estate. And we didn't know exactly what that looked like. Would that be wholesaling? A lot of people were wholesaling at the time. Also, coming out of undergrad, everyone thinks they're going to be rich. So we thought we'd have a whole bunch of capital to work with, but that wasn't necessarily the reality. So we took our time. We said, we want to figure out what we actually want to do, but let's take a second. Let's research. Let's actually really look into things. Let's understand different capital structures, ways to raise funding, and just different ways to invest in real estate. And once we did that, we also combined that with also finding ways to actually raise that capital. Yep. So now we're at a point where we actually can make those investments, now that we actually have money to do it.
100%. So obviously it's been a long time. What would you think? A lot of people have friends. A lot of people have people that they've known for 10 years, but the people around them don't induce success. They're not people that are driving motivators. They're not people who are gonna be inhibitors of change, of massive change, because that's what it takes to be extremely successful. And a lot of people are hanging around these people. What would be some advice you have to people? We've known each other for 10 years, but we do work together. We motivate each other. We are disciplined. What would you say to the people who have these friends around them who aren't being responsible, who aren't taking initiative and motivating? If you have 5 friends and they're all bums, you're going to be that 6th bum. So what would be some advice you have for people? We've been friends for a long time. They have friends that they've been with for a long time. What is your advice for them?
Definitely. I think in those type of situations, for one, first of all, I think there's always something you can learn from everyone, no matter where they are, no matter how many times they fail, no matter how successful they are. Each different walk of life, I think, offers a unique perspective that you can learn from and take that to then create something or utilize in your own life to build upon that. But also, too, I think you have to forge your own path. You forge your own path, I forged my own path. We did different things. And at the end of the day, when you work in tandem with someone else, I think you see also, different levels of success. Some people are going to succeed. Some people might take a little bit longer. Not only do you learn from those people, but essentially also find a way to utilize that experience and culminate it all together to then create something, a masterpiece essentially. So we've both done that on our own, and now we've come back together to, really build something even bigger.
One thing that I love about what you just said is that there are a lot of friends that we had back in the day that won't be sitting here right now. There are friends that I had for 10, 15 years that I'm no longer friends with because I could no longer surround myself with the wrong people. See, a lot of y'all are friends with people who don't want to see you succeed. And secretly, when you do start to succeed, they're hating because you're not taking them with you, even though they had the opportunity to be there with you. And so when you surround yourself with people who are secretly jealous of what you're doing, you're just creating an environment for you not to be successful. So what I need you to do is create an audit of your friends. Go to your 5 closest friends and see where they're at. See what their motivators are. See what their successes are. Are they the kind that sit around and play video games all day? Are they someone who goes out and hustles? If these aren't the right people you have around you, then you got to find new people. There are people who you are going to think you're going to be friends with the rest of your life, and you're going to realize very quickly that these people don't have your best intentions at heart. So what advice would you give to the people for the success that you've had and what you've been able to create? To anyone watching this who hasn't seen success or is looking for a way out, what is some words that you have for them?
I think one of the biggest ones is to clap for others. Again, things happen on completely different timelines, and it's easy to see somebody succeed today and think, I wish I did that. I wish I could drive a Ferrari. I wish I had a great house. I wish I could do XYZ, had my own business. But the thing is, you don't know what it took to get there. You don't know how many times you missed the party, you couldn't go to the club, you were just at home working. You were working till 2 a.m. You're working way beyond what a lot of people think it goes into these success. They just see the final product. So I'll say clap for your friends, clap for others, because you don't know when your time is coming, and you're going to need people there to clap for you when your time comes as well. So I think that's probably one of the biggest things I would say.
It's powerful, man. Thank you so much, Duran.
Absolutely,
my boy for 10 years. So y'all make sure I'm gonna put his at here. If you ever need real estate, if you ever need investment advice, go to this guy right here and he'll get you right. Appreciate you, bro. What's up, guys? So I'm here with Daryl. The biggest banker, investor in Miami, super inspirational guy, someone who's been like a mentor to me because of his experience and what he has seen and how much he's learned from it and how far he's been able to come from his childhood, from where he came to where he is now. His story is super inspirational, something that I get motivated from and that you definitely can as well. And so he's going to be giving us a couple of stories from his childhood and how he was able to get here. And so the first question I have for you is, a lot of people assume probably that because you're successful and you're a white man that maybe you had it easy, but what was your childhood like and what was it like were you born rich? What was that like coming up and getting to where you are now?
I didn't know what rich was until now. I was born in a very blue collar, very lower class type family. Father worked for the railroad. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. But what was really bad is that, lived on a farm, that kind of thing. Yeah. What was bad is that I was raised an abused kid.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So I didn't have anything. That's how I was raised. And then I left home when I was 15 and ultimately been taking care of myself since. Put myself through high school, college, and then now. Yeah. So I've always kind of done it myself.
So you wouldn't say that your upbringing had anything to do with your success now? What would you say was the main factor if you were abused as a kid? A lot of people say those kids never turn out right. They can't be successful. What would you say is the reason why you were able to do it?
I'd say that you have to have a positive motivation in your life. My father was never home. My father was a guy that traveled a lot for his work. And I was raised by my mother. So when I was able to see my father was a very positive man. He never knew what the bad adversity that was happening at the house. And the positive stuff that the positive words and the inspiration that he gave me just on daily life, on just thinking positive and thinking ahead and always never quitting and being proud of who you are, being proud of your name. That was always something that resonated with me. And when you get into a situation, in this case, like with an abuse, it's so easy in life today to continue that cycle like that.
Yeah.
Through my dad's motivation, and my dad was a kind man and a very inspirational man, as I mentioned. It just sort of, I felt good when I was with him, and I wanted to be and conduct myself in a manner that would make me feel the same way when I'm with my father. And so to break that cycle, what I tried to do is that and it's a long process, it's not easy, but what I tried to do was I tried to take the positive things, apply them, and don't say that's the direction I can't go forward because I was abused. I used that adversity as my starting point, and that was my strength to move me forward.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. That's amazing. Because there's a lot of people that have been through that and feel like that's the reason why they can't be successful. So I'm sure that for a lot of people who are going to watch this are going to find inspiration in the fact that they may have been through the same thing and may feel like that's a crutch, or that they're unable to achieve their goals. But seeing you be able to do it may just be the reason why you feel like you can do it in whatever situation that you're in, which is amazing. So obviously now, coming from that childhood and seeing what you've seen now, you've been able to see great success. Obviously, you're one of probably the wealthiest person that I know and one of the most successful people. Would you say that what you've been able to achieve now makes you happy? Is that where you find your joy, or is it something else that brings that?
You know, money, obviously, having never had money until you start making money, you don't realize money then was sort of a scorecard. When you accumulate enough wealth and you realize that money is easier, can be made more easily, or you know how to do it. When you get to a point, you can have all of the material things in the world, but back about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I realized having all of this financial wealth, having all of the toys, the things, the big house, the multiple cars, all of the bank accounts are full.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that there was something deep inside of me that was wrong, and that I just didn't feel. I still felt alone. And what I realized is that I didn't have my purpose. I didn't know. You don't live for money.
Yeah.
You got to live for a purpose. And when I started addressing my life for something more meaningful than money, I traded material happiness for emotional happiness. When I traded that is when my whole life truly became different. And as I continued on, I got involved very heavily in lots and lots of charities, given the fact that I had experience in knowing what it's like to be alone and feel like that you didn't matter, you were stupid, you were dumb, you were an idiot, those types of things. I know that feeling, and I'd never wanted any other person to ever feel that way.
Yeah.
And so I used this type of, that's my adversity. I used that to be involved in these and understand these kids, and these young people today. There's a lot of people out there that live in an environment where maybe one of the parents is incarcerated. They've been around drugs. They've been around prostitution. They've been around alcohol. They've seen literally murders in their front yards.
Yeah.
They don't understand what actually what is forward. And that when I got involved with these charities, I could see that there was something missing, that these individuals, there's a lot of people in this world, and we all think about the Jeff Bezos, we all think about the Elon Musk and all of the wealthy people out there. That's what people say. That's what they see. When you look at the mass population, there's a lot of people out there that actually, there is the next Jeff Bezos out there. There is the next Elon Musk out there. And I believe that they're in the middle. And what I want to do is in me writing a book called Only Up, Adversity to Opportunity. What I'm doing with this is that I want to find these individuals and show them, not to say I can't go forward because of my situation in the past. Use that as your advantage. Use that past, that adversity as your launch point, much like a track star would have a starting block. They would put their foot down and they launch forward. That's what they want. I want you to take the adversity, use that as your launch pad, use that as your starting block to move forward. Use that strength, draw from that strength as your advantage, not to your detriment. That's the message that I want to try to.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. You said the book was only up. When is it available? Is it available?
Only up. We're in the middle of the writing piece of it right now. It will be out. It will be out and available somewhere in the next 6 months.
Okay.
We got a lot of work to do. This has been an idea that I've had in my mind for the last 7 or 8 years, and only recently, up until the last year, did I really start putting pen to paper and creating this book. And the story is quite powerful. The book tells a little bit about my life and what drove me to this point. And I've been fortunate to retain a PR company and a promotional company that is helping me not only in the writing of this book, but also in creating opportunities that I will be able to do interviews and do different coverages. It's something that I want to do, not for financial gain. Again, give back. I want to do this to help young people understand that they matter, and that I want them to believe in themselves. And I want to be able to be a mentor and show them a path that they can actually move themselves forward. And the dollars that we raise from these various interviews, speaking engagements, and connecting with young people around the country, the message that I deliver, we're going to take in any funds, whatever they may be, however large or small. We've set up an Only Up Foundation that will fund mental and physical abuse for young people.
Amazing. That's amazing. We're going to definitely have to come back in 6 months when the book is ready, and we're going to do another interview, and we'll have the book linked below so that you guys can get it as well. And so if there was one message that you would give to the people who have, regardless whether they've been through abuse, whether they are struggling right now, whether they are in depression or anxiety, or they just feel like they can't get out, what is one message that you have to them? For just any message?
I want you to know that you matter. You're a human being. You're one of God's children. You matter. And all it takes is reach out, lean on your friends, lean on a mentor, I should say. Lean on someone else. Call me. Call your minister. Call your school teacher. Tell them what's in your heart. But know that you matter to this world, and that when you start this process, it's a slow process. There's an old song that I used to sing when I was in the church choir when I was 9 years old, and it says it only takes a spark to get a fire going.
Yeah.
Once you start believing and saying out loud the words, Anna Paula mentioned this to me many, many times, and I believe it to my heart, and that is that when you start saying the words will eventually transform your brain. It'll transform your heart. It'll transform your mind. And so say every day that I matter. Say every day that I'm loved. Say every day that I'm smart enough. I believe in myself. And eventually, just like anything else, the formula will just come together, and you will eventually do this. It will be a rocky road. A mountain is not straight up. It does have its valleys, but never give up. David Goggins said, you don't quit when you're tired. You quit when you're finished.
Yeah.
And so continue to believe that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall down. You're going to have tough days. That's okay. Reach out, lean on those that you respect, lean on those people that you truly respect, and emulate what they actually do. That's the message. But I will tell you, you matter.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I couldn't have said it any better myself. I do a lot of speaking, but honestly, you need to take my job because you're doing a lot better than me. The last question that I have, and this is for everyone watching here that is looking for some kind of path to success. Obviously, you're extremely successful, extremely wealthy, and not just about money success, but you're successful in life in general. You've been able to find your purpose. Now, a lot of people who are watching this, they may be trying to find their purpose or find some meaning. Now, the fact that you are extremely successful and have been able to achieve so much, yet, you know, we're sitting, you grew up and you were abused and you had to go through things and grind your way and find your way to the success that you're at now. It's similar to how, you know, other people have had to get that same success. People like me who have had to work on something. So with the success that you've had and what you've been able to achieve, what do you think it is that has brought us together now that we're working together, that has brought us to where now we're working, even though you really could just sit back with what you have now and you could, you know, just go off on the beach somewhere and relax. What do you think it is that is still driving you and that we're here sitting together and we're working together and achieving things together and working to achieve things as a partnership? What do you think that is? As I said earlier,
There comes a time when you drive for financial success. You drive for one more. When I flipped the script and made that one more in a helping way. You can't have it all until you give it all away. If you're a giver, I submit to you that the reason you and I are together is I watch how you give of your time, give of your knowledge and your mind, how you spend the time educating people regardless of their economic means, and how you've kind of built your business. What you and I what you and I are doing together is I think we have a very solid goal, solid common ground. Common goals is really what I mean.
Yeah.
And what you're trying to do is you're always trying to do things better, not more, but doing it better. And you never take shortcuts. You're an honest guy. You have a lot of integrity. You're very transparent. I loved when you did your message on what all the messages that are going on around TikTok now with the band.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're a leader. You want to grow. You're a humble human being. And in many cases, not knowing a lot about what your past is, but just in some things that we've shared, I think that you and I have some basic understanding of where each of us have come from.
Yeah.
And where we're going.
Yeah.
And I just believe in what you're doing. And I think what you're doing is opening up a market for people that might want to do it, but they didn't know how to do it.
Right.
You're giving them many avenues, whether they're opening a store or, you know, through your educational schools that you're putting together, or actually where you want somebody will come to you and say, well, I'm educated. Can you just get me set up and I'll take it from there? You've offered that.
Yeah.
You've got an operation where, okay, you want to invest, you don't have the time. Would you run it, you know, and have that arrangement? So you have a way to offer up a platform that literally can help anybody become the ultimate dream of being their own boss, being their own business person, and being successful and being happy.
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate that, man. If there's anyone that I would love, and this is very short compared to what I want to do in the future, is have you sit down and we just talk for an hour or two, where we can just go into the in-depth on the stories and the successes and the life that you've had, because just from what I'm hearing here, and I'm sure that you guys are going to hear, there's a lot more that we want to learn from you, even that I want to learn from you. And so I would love to be able to sit down with you on a longer basis the next time. But I want to thank you so much for this interview and for giving the people that game. Is there anything that you want to say to people to end out?
I'd say in life, you can't steal second with your foot on first. And remember this, my dad told me this 40 years ago. When your feet hit the floor in the morning, you have a chance. Every time you wake up, you thank the Lord that you're awake, that you're here, that He's given you another day. Put your feet on the floor. That means that you have a chance to reach your goals, to reach your dreams, because you matter and you believe in yourself.
Amazing. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much, Daryl. These are the kind of people that you want to be around. You don't want to be around there's a lot of craziness out there in the world these days, but genuine, real people, extremely successful. But you wouldn't, if he was walking on the street, you would think he was just another guy. He's not boastful, not cocky, just a humble person. And I'm blessed to be able to know you and to be partners with you. And I'm looking forward to what we can do together. And that is networking, guys. These are the people you want to be around. So thank you so much again, Daryl.
Thank you.